All right, we are here today at Creekside Cigar Lounge for episode 6 of the One Bourbon, One Cigar Small Business Podcast. What we do here on the podcast is highlight small business owners and their businesses. We want people to get to know you, get an idea of who you are personally, what your business is about. It's hard to get out there and meet people. It's expensive to market to people. So we want to provide a platform that's free, and let people see you and hear from you, and maybe they do business with you and feel confident to do that. So without further ado, we will get started. And the other thing we like to do here is talking a lot can get boring. So we like to loosen each other up with some loosey-goosey juice, which is the Clase Azul tequila. We love this stuff here on the podcast. By all means, if they would like to sponsor us, we will take them up on it. But until that day happens, we will keep buying it and drinking it ourselves. I don't know. That's a heavy pour, but we got a whole long time. It'll keep you loose. Clase Azul. This stuff is good.
I don't know.
That's right. Dang it. I'm going to have to be careful here. Knocking my mic over.
You knocked your mic down.
I know. It's probably going to be a big clunk on the old editing. Rex, our executive producer, is going to be like that dummy. Right, Rex?
No.
Okay.
I still want to know how a bourbon podcast starts with
Tequila. I know.
Well, this stuff. Well, Rex.
Why not vodka?
Rex, how about you try some here? I got you a glass. I pre-poured it for you.
Fine.
Tell me what you think of it. Thanks, buddy.
For the record, I hate tequila.
All right.
Yeah, I'm
Cheers.
not a big tequila person either, but
Welcome to the podcast.
thank you. I'm very glad to be here.
We're glad. That's good every time.
Oh, spank my donkey
good stuff.
backwards.
That's right. And we like to smoke cigars. Later on here, we'll review some cigars. We'll have the owners of the Creekside Cigar Lounge, one or both of them, come on. They're outstanding people, and they know a lot about cigars. So we will talk through the cigars, some things they do here. But further ado, let's get started. And first, we're going to,
What's your name, Scumbag?
Jeremy Thompson Caliente.
Oh,
No, I'm just kidding.
okay.
That's my Spanish name. Jeremy Thompson.
All right. Let's give us a little brief bio of who you are. Brief, because we're going to get to know you pretty well here throughout the podcast. So
Where to start? Well, I was born in Athens, Greece.
really,
Yeah.
okay,
But my family is majority Sicilian, and a little
okay.
bit of French. And my dad was in the Navy. He was a CB in the Navy during Vietnam.
I applied to be a CB.
Yeah. Talk about crazy.
Okay,
Yeah, these guys are crazy. I had lots of uncles, I remember, from when I was little.
okay.
It was just guys on my dad's team. And so I had a lot of uncles coming by the house and stuff like that. And good rowdy guys, but
Okay.
good guys.
No, not Navy guys. They're not rowdy, right?
Well, the CBs are a little more rowdier. than
Yeah,
that.
that's true.
But yeah, grew up in California till I was about, 8, 9 years old. And
Okay.
Then
So you got just enough California, but not all of it.
yeah, San Clemente, Oceanside area. Sister
Oh.
was born in San Diego.
It's
Dad.
pronounced San Diego.
San Diego. Yeah, San Diego. And so my dad was at Pendleton, and that's where
Oh, yeah.
he got out of the Navy and then moved to Texas, to Lubbock. Long story short, my dad bought a ranch up there. Parents divorced. Mom moved to Austin because she got remarried. So I got the best of both worlds. I got to grow up on a ranch,
Yeah.
learn all the ranch stuff, but I also got a lot, whenever I'd come, see my mom in Austin,
Sure.
I would get all the city stuff. And so,
Best of both worlds.
yeah, I got the best of both worlds. It was pretty awesome going back and forth. The ranch was cool. This ranch, like, digging ditches.
How big a ranch was it?
Oh, it wasn't huge. It was like just a little over 50 acres.
That's big enough.
Yeah,
Big
it
enough
was
to
a
get in
small
trouble, huh?
ranch, but we had Sudan grass out there. We had a horse named Jibo. We rented out some of the land to some farmers so they can cultivate some stuff on there, and had lots of chickens.
Okay.
Built lots of little buildings and sheds and dug our own well that went down into the Okolala Aquifer. Man, it's a tongue twister to say. But
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and we used to sit outside and just watch tornadoes go by because everything in Lubbock is flat.
Yes.
Like the trees that are there were brought and planted there.
Well, they probably blew there from another
Yeah,
tornado.
or yeah, exactly. So you could see for miles. We would just sit there and watch tornadoes for
Well,
miles.
now I didn't know that was a redeeming quality of Lubbock because I want to see a tornado so bad.
Oh man,
Live.
I will tell you, like, you know, our weather here locally has gotten a little crazy over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
You know, and first thing I do is get a lawn chair and go open up my
No,
garage and I sit out
agree.
there. And my wife and my daughter are like, "No, we need to get the dogs into the inner cupboard and we need to
Put your helmet on?
Yeah, put the helmet on and everything." I'm like, guys, we're not even. No, it's not even to that point yet. No, we don't get in there till the last minute. I want to get out here. I'm gonna watch this stuff, man.
Yes.
I want to enjoy it.
Yes, I will.
Because it happens so rarely.
Yeah, really, it does.
Yeah. Well, compared to Lubbock.
No,
Lubbock, it's like all the time.
Every day. Oh, another tornado. All right. Well, it sounds like you've had an interesting life, and we're gonna find out about it.
Yeah, I grew up mostly in Austin. I've been in Austin, you know, since that age. You know, back and forth between the ranch and Austin, and then when eventually moved to Round Rock. Went to Round Rock High School, and then from there, you know, did some jobs and stuff like that, and then went to ACC for college.
What's ACC?
Austin Community College.
Oh,
And did that.
I know someone going there right now.
Excelled. I loved it because by the time I was ready for college,
Yeah.
or by the time I went to ACC, like I wanted to learn. But when I was in high school, you know, it was social. It was all about friends and chicks and skating because I was skateboarded for 10 and a half, 11 years.
What was the best
And
trick you ever pulled on a? Could you do an ollie?
I can do Ollie Impossible tail grabs, Ollie Impossible nose pickers, you know, could do
What's an ollie nose picker?
backside disaster sleighs. That's where, well, I'd have to show you, but you ollie.
You didn't bring your skateboard?
You ollie, you wrap your board around your back foot, grab the tail, or when it wraps around the back foot as you're coming down, do it, you know, if you do it high enough that's over the curb, then you can just kind of, as soon as your front foot plants, you can plant that front truck right on the edge of the curb.
Okay.
That's called the nose picker. And then you can kind of balance that and then do like a 180, shove it out of it, or, you know, a
Man,
360.
you are
kickflip or
speaking
whatever.
Greek. I do like watching
I
the
loved
X
it.
games.
I was so much into it. Like, I ate, breathed, slept,
Well,
skated.
9.5 years, that's a long
Yeah,
time.
yeah, I did it for a long. Did it for a long time.
Did you ever break any bones when you were skateboarding?
No.
What?
I smacked the gooch every once in a while.
Okay.
You know, it's that part of you between your
Yep,
legs.
yep.
You know,
I know where it is.
between your man parts
Yep.
and your back end.
I know, it's, yes.
And doing handrails. I've been in the
Oh,
yeah,
gosh.
I've been in the newspapers a few times up in Lubbock for my skating, and been in the Texas Tech newspaper doing handrails behind the mass communication building.
When you weren't allowed to?
We weren't supposed to. But we actually had a security guard come and caught us one time. But the tricks we were doing were so, I mean, okay, so I was very fortunate. Skating back then in Lubbock, the tricks and stuff, they were kind of 2 years behind Austin. So I'd be in Austin and I was just like a normal skater.
Yeah.
On average par with everyone. Then I'd go back to visit my dad in Lubbock, and then when I'd go in Lubbock and skate, oh, these guys awesome.
Tony
man.
Hawk here.
You gotta skate with Jeremy, man. He's the. But in Austin, we were used to doing big burly stuff.
Okay.
You know, I'm talking like ollieing from one parking lot over a grass median down into another parking lot. You know, rail sliding in parking garages.
Were you a swimming pool guy?
Oh man, I love pools. There was a pool in Round Rock. It's not there anymore, but it was an abandoned. I don't remember if it was an abandoned house or an abandoned apartment complex, and it was a kidney-shaped pool, and it was perfect. And we used to hit that pool up all the time. And there used to be a big ditch called man, what was the name of that ditch? I can't remember that name of the corridor ditch.
Okay.
And it was right in the spot before, right off I-35, and the crossway. Lewis Henna? No, is it Lewis Henna?
We'll talk about later.
Yes.
Anyway, it was right on the spot before Dell built there. It even
Oh,
existed.
yes.
So I was in Round Rock before Dell even got there.
Okay.
And
A
of
lot's
course,
changed here. in
yeah,
Central
when Dale
Texas.
came, then everything blew up.
Mhm. Wow. Skateboarding.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I had never heard that.
I used to have
about
a
you.
14.5-inch mohawk. I actually got a picture of that.
I've seen that picture.
Yes.
That is, you were punk
I was
rock.
17. Yeah, I was in love with it.
How? Okay. Well, I guess we just you brought it up.
Yeah.
How long did it take to create a 14-inch mohawk?
Okay, it's actually
Or how much hairspray?
Yeah.
How much
Yeah.
Aquanet did that take?
okay. So it's actually not as difficult as you think. So
Okay.
what we would do is we would go to the store and we'd buy these packets of what's called Knox gelatin.
Okay.
No flavor, no food coloring. It's what Jello's made out of, but
Okay.
but without the food coloring and the sugar and
Yeah.
you know and all the flavor and stuff.
Okay.
Just straight up Knox gelatin. And so you do the mix, warm it up in the microwave for a little bit, and then you just put it in your hair, and then it would start to harden and form. And then to get it to stay, we used to use the aerosol spray, super hold Aquanet hairspray.
Oh yeah.
We're
I
talking about the
love
stuff
Aquanet.
they made in the 50s.
See, I use Aquanet to like light things on fire.
Yeah, exactly. Or like burn roaches, or we used to do that. Those water bugs in the backyard. We used to grab the aerosol spray and just light them up and listen to
Yes.
them go. Eee! Yeah,
Yes.
fire breathing dragon on them. But yeah, but the worst thing was trying to get it to go down.
Oh.
Because we used to iron ours do an iron on very
You
low
would stick
heat.
your head on the.
Yeah, after you got all the stuff in and you got it somewhat, then we'd have to straighten it, make it look real good.
Yeah.
So we'd put on the iron, and most of the punk rock girls that were with us, you know, they loved to, you know, hang out with us. They're like, yeah, let's straighten it up, and we'd get them to iron our hair and stuff, and yeah.
Okay.
Then it was rough getting it to go down. I mean, it took days.
To, like,
no matter how much
soften
you
it up.
wash it.
Really?
Yeah, you'd constantly be working on it. So we put on our hats, trying to hold our hair down, and we'd just go out and skate and sweat, and hopefully the sweat would break
Break it up, sure.
Break it down.
See, I am already got the. I never had good hair growing up. It appears that you have good genes. You still look like you have all of your hair on the whole part of your head.
Well, that's funny you should say that because both of my grandpas, my grandpa Tommy and my grandpa Rio, both of them, and my uncles too, most of them, full head of hair, full color, all the way up until their late 70s.
Jeez.
Yeah, so like, I mean, a little bit of gray, but not much. I mean, they had full color. you
Okay.
know.
I do like the salt and pepper look, but you looks like it's gonna be a while before you're gray.
Yeah, I got one tiny little piece here, but I'll blame that on my 15-year-old.
Yeah,
I have
well,
5 kids. And
I will have 15-year-olds here in a few years, so I'll
God
be
bless you,
full
bro.
gray by then.
Yeah.
So, wow, that was some fun stuff. Well, that almost ties into the first thing I wanted to ask you. What would be maybe your favorite childhood memory growing up? Do you have a favorite? Something that just like always.
I have so many.
Okay, pick that one.
But bow hunting with my dad.
That's cool.
That was I got really good at it. Actually won a bow hunting competition up in a 3D shoot
Did
up
you
in
slay
Amarillo.
any animals with your bow?
I was going to one time, and I was up in the tree, had the deer in my sights, everything. Looked over at my dad because he said,
Yeah.
always check in with me before, because
Yep.
I might know something you don't, you know.
Sure.
And I said,
See
okay.
something that you don't
Yeah. And looked over at him, and he was like, no.
Ooh.
And then he grabs the camera out of his bag and sits there and just takes pictures and scared it off.
have.
And he was like, that was the perfect deer. I was like, why didn't you let me shoot it? It was just too beautiful. I
Was it a
just
big
like,
buck then, or what?
Yeah, it was nice and
Okay.
a real good size, you know.
Okay.
But he just couldn't let me have that win. So
He couldn't let you have. All right, so that was
that
pretty good.
and another. I have one more. My stepdad, totally amazing. Just really good guy. I gave him a lot of crap.
Okay.
A lot of crap when he
Your
came on the
stepdad,
scene.
yeah, I bet.
Because I was 13. You're not my dad.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, don't be trying to, whatever.
Be my dad.
But
Tell me
how
what
he
to do.
won me over is when my mom wasn't so involved in my skateboarding. She was
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, it's just a fad. Quit wearing, t-shirts with skulls on it. You're celebrating death, and that's not how Jesus wants you to live." And I'm like, "It's a t-shirt,
Yeah, yeah.
He would actually take me to the skate parks. He would take me to my skateboarding
Oh.
competitions. He would root for me. He would always, here, drink some water. Here, wipe.
Oh, so he's
here's
really
a towel.
helpful and
Wipe yourself
supportive.
off with. He was real big into football. Skateboard was my thing. He saw it as a lateral thing. Hey, it doesn't matter what sport it is.
Sure.
And he supported me. He watched X Games with me, and yeah, he was good. He's a good dude.
All right, and you still have a good relationship?
Oh
with
yeah, that's
both
my
your
papa.
dads?
That's my real dad. Not really so much.
Okay.
Birthdays, Father's
Sure.
Day.
But stepdad, he's a fixture of your life?
Oh yeah, like we're
That's
talking
cool.
like an everyday thing. I mean,
Oh, really? You
yeah.
give him a buzz and see how he's doing?
Oh yeah, he'll sit we talk. He's knows a lot of. He's very knowledgeable about business, but he's super creative. He writes his own songs and poems, which it's a secret love of mine. I do poem writing in my personal secret time.
Okay.
Nobody knows about that, but
Well, that's why we're here, to
Yeah.
find out a little more
Yeah.
about you.
And,
What's that poem writing or that poem talking when they go and they really aggressive? What's that called?
Oh, spoken word.
Yeah, and they're like,
Yeah.
they're like really
Yeah.
aggressive. Yeah.
Yeah. My name is Jeremy Thompson. I'm on the scene. You step on my foot, I will stab you in the spleen.
Yeah. Ooh. yeah. Well, wow.
Almost kind of like rap, but yeah.
Yeah, they're very like, yes, okay. Spoken word, that's it. Yeah, I'm not that I'm creative, but not that kind of creative. I would not feel comfortable. Rex is going to be mad at me again. I bumped the mic. Well, that's some good memories. You're lighting with the cedar over there. You are sticking to the plan over there. I like that.
Yeah.
We'll get into that a little more. So you're all. I know there's a big day coming up for you. We don't have to allude to it, but you've been around for a while.
We can allude to it.
Okay, your big,
I'm proud of
the
it.
big 5-0 is coming up for
Yes.
you. Big 5-0.
On Wednesday.
Been Wednesday, so this week, couple days.
Yeah.
Well, first I'm going to ask you, since you've been around that long, but then I want to ask you what you have planned for your actual birthday. But what's the best compliment you think you've gotten in your whole life? If you could think to that one moment where you can find yourself going back to it.
That's
Something
funny. I'm
about
not
you.
good with compliments.
You don't receive them well?
No, just because of my childhood, my dad was, my Navy dad was.
Oh, didn't dish them
Somewhat.
out very well too often.
No, it was more, hey, numbskull, hey, stupid,
Yeah. Okay.
Because that's how he was brought up. So, well, which I understand psychologically, so not really I mean, you say it, I'll receive it, but I'm like, okay, whatever.
Okay,
and
all
just
right.
move along.
Sure. All right.
Um,
So nothing really resonates with you throughout life.
unless you say something to me that's profound.
Okay. But it's got to be about you. Something profound about you, because it's a compliment
Yes,
about what.
and my mentor, who's a millionaire right now, and I think I mentioned this at our business group,
Mm-hmm.
he says something to me that I can hear his voice just like it was yesterday.
Okay.
Just like it was 5 minutes ago. And it wasn't really so much of, it was kind of a compliment, but it was kind of an encouragement as well.
Okay.
And it was the most memorable thing that anybody, I think, has ever said to me,
Okay.
And it was, Jeremy, you're doing all the right things. Talking about my business, and this is the early days of my business. We're talking like 17 years ago.
Okay.
You're doing all the right things, just in the wrong way.
Okay.
And let me help you come up with a process so you can do all the right things in the right way.
Sure.
So he encouraged me by saying, hey, you're doing everything right. You're doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Okay.
But let me give you some wisdom on how you can do those right things in a right way. And it was just so powerful. And it just, now I use it with everything,
That's right. You've called me at least 30 times and told me about it.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, but when it comes to,
But no,
I'm
if
a very
something hits you hard,
Yeah.
you're gonna appreciate it.
Yeah, that and confidence doesn't come until you have clarity of the situation,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
And once you have that confidence, that feeds the hunger of execution.
Okay, we're gonna get into this business stuff with you. I have a
No,
few-
these are just life lessons.
Well,
that I've
yeah,
learned,
there's some questions I
aside
wanna
from
ask.
business, but
Yes, you can apply that to all parts of life.
that and just don't ever give up. Right when you get to that point where you feel like you're gonna get my stepdad, just don't ever give up. Right when you get to that point where you feel like you're just gonna give up, don't give up. You have it in you, son, to not give up.
Yes.
He goes, it's not a question of whether you could do it or not. It's a question of when you get to that point where you just feel like, everything just looks so bleak. I just do not know how this is going to work out. Just wait it out That's where real strength comes in, is at that moment where you can decide or not decide to give up or not.
Yeah.
And to not give up gives you a strength.
Oh, absolutely. You can push through the next one. I always remember from Finding Dory, just keep swimming, just keep swimming. I tell my kids that all the time. I use that one. There's a million different ways you can say don't give up, but yes, it is amazing when you push through a wall and you're like, that wasn't as hard as I thought, and now, okay,
Yeah.
I can keep what's the word I'm looking for? Perseverance.
Yeah.
Persevering.
Yeah.
So.
And the level of your perseverance, and depending on how you approach perseverance, could come from, negative reinforcement is a very powerful thing, and positive reinforcement
failure
is a very
powerful. It depending if you perceive it as that, like, I can get better because I just screwed up, or I'm giving up.
Exactly. My wife is so amazing at this. She teaches science. She has an aerospace engineering degree from West Point, and she heads up the physics engineering and computer science department up at Harker Heights High School. And,
really?
And I go, so when you guys do a lab and students don't do it right and they don't get the outcome that they normally get, do they get a failing grade? She goes, no, they get a good grade just for trying it. Remember, the process is about teaching them how to learn.
Yes.
If you
But
don't,
what if the science is settled?
but if you don't, if the lab doesn't work out in your favor, then guess what? You just figured out a way how it's not going to work.
Well, that's true. You did. Yeah, that is.
And you record that data.
That's true.
So.
Okay. Hey, Rex, let Val know these are the ones we're doing. So she's all right. Cool. No, yeah, it's exactly right. You just found out a way it won't work. So it's not. That's an interesting. That's a complete mind twister when you. Can see it as that instead of
but society and our family and everything else wants to dictate to us, oh, you're a failure, you'll never make something out of yourself, and blah blah this and blah blah that. But what if I do? What if I do make something out of myself? What if I do succeed? So then you have the whole fear of failure, and then the other side of that is fear of success.
Yeah.
What if I do blow up and everything does work?
No, that's really yes. No, that can be for sure.
Oh, we can talk hours about that.
Yes. So briefly, this is always a funny one, and maybe you don't surprise easy, but when was the last time what's something that really surprised you, that got you really surprised? Can you think of something where you're just taken back and like, wow, that really, maybe someone business related or friend, like something happened to a friend you didn't expect that, or just in life in general?
I've had so many of those things happen in my life. I'm a Christian. I love the Lord. I very much so try to be in a position where I can hear and see, what the Holy Spirit's doing. And I would say one thing that always surprises me. Well, it doesn't surprise me, but it's a surprise when you actually see it happening.
Sure.
But in my consciousness, I know it does happen, and it happens all the time, and I've seen it happen over and over again. But just seeing how God works a situation out in someone's life,
Absolutely.
I mean, just man, I tell you what, that is probably the most amazing, treasure to find. Is when you can actually see and recognize God moving in your own life or in someone else's life.
A lot of times we recognize it more in other people's lives than our own.
But that's our own stigma. That's our own mentalness that won't allow ourselves.
Oh, no, absolutely.
Well,
it's kind of, it's easy to see someone else failing or succeeding, and then if they do believe, like, hey, maybe this is why that's happening because you've done this, this, and this, and followed this, this, and this. But no, that's a good one. I actually, you kind of threw me for a loop on that one. I like that one. I think I am surprised sometimes by stuff like that too. Like you see someone, they're just living doing this, and then something, what? But then you can trace it back to So.
Well, I think there's so many of us we have a tendency to humanize things.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And for us to attach humanistic qualities to God makes God less than what he really is.
Well, yeah.
You know, so.
All right. I like it.